Hello everyone, welcome back to the KMT Traders channel. So this is the full market analysis volume 35. So we are looking at some very good moves in store for this week, potentially even next week. So we do have a lot of pairs to cover. So we're going to actually cover gold and Euro USD tomorrow because we could be potentially entering those pairs tomorrow, well, this week. So without further ado guys, we'll start off with New Zealand dollar and the US dollar. So what I've noticed so far with this pair is, we've noticed that we've had this strong strength in this, against the dollar. So we've had New Zealand dollar strength increasing to the upside. We can see we've had that push to the upside, and now basically this is going to trap a lot of people. Now I don't want you guys to get stuck into this. So this is where you're going to be setting up for the next route and the next push to the upside, which I think is possible. So looking at the RSI, we can see that we had some overbought conditions, and this is why I'm convinced that we need to have a strong retracement to some degree. So I'm using this low here, so basically from 0.66 to 0.69. I want to see price come into a bit more of a retracement if possible, but ultimately it doesn't matter where it's going to come into in terms of the Fibonacci level. What I'm looking for is that bullish momentum and that first sign, because I don't want to miss this move because it could be very big. So ultimately I want to see at least this length added on top of wherever our retracement is. So this move alone, say for example it retraced to this, where this first original arrow is here. The move, is as a minimum, you could be looking at least 326 pips on that next impulse move, and possibly even more. So I can't stress this enough that this week and next few weeks is going to be absolutely, it's going to be quite jam-packed with results and moves. So I do hope you can get in on some of these pairs. So ultimately this, we're in, and you'll see throughout the this video that majority of the pairs that we're looking at are not in a corrective state anymore. We're now possibly in a trending position. So excuse me. So yeah, so if you're looking to trade now, again, this is, don't miss out any of these moves, because honestly you don't want to be in that position. I've been there, being able to miss out on the moves, questioning why it happened. I'm telling you this now, like, we are expecting a correction, and then we are expecting a bull run, okay? And I could expect this one to be a very strong one. So consider this for this week, or this trades that you take. If you do manage to get in a good position, try not to take out so quick, because I do see good potential in this in the future for all pairs that we're going to cover this week. Okay, so long story short, again guys, we're just going to have a correction, and then we're going to be looking for that pump to the upside. Okay, so moving on now to AUD USD. Same situation here. We can see that we've had that strength in the market. Now I hope you can also see why I'm saying that we could be now in a strengthening market. If we look at this, we've always just been in a corrective sideways move. A lot of pending orders here, pending orders here, pending orders here, and then we had that huge push. Like, this should be screaming to you guys, we're in a trending market. The RSI, showing, this is just an oscillator indicator. I don't use this too much in terms of a trading plan, but it gives direction, and it gives a confluence of when we could be in a corrective state, or when we're in a potential trending market sort of situation. So with this pair, again, same situation. We're going to be looking for a possible corrective move. Now I'm already looking at this in terms of a bullish nature. We can see that we've had a bit of a kickstart. So I'm going to look at this in a bit more detail with the trading group, but we could be looking at this being the good momentum kick to start the next push. But if this does push up higher, we can always wait for the next correction and push higher, etc., like that. But if that doesn't happen, we get more of a we take out this low, we push lower, possibly into 0.72. Again, the same corrective nature. We could look at something like that and see if we can push into this higher. Yeah, so pretty much if we pull out fib, Could be looking at the 382, the 50, or the 618. Depends on how severe we have that of a retracement. But again, I hope you can see how strong that all this move here is in comparison to, any of these bull runs here. And we did have a lot of strength to the downside, and the market can never always be in a strengthened market in one direction, so it has to retrace to some degree. Okay, so yeah, guys, the same situation. We're targeting to the upside, and the videos that we made from last week pretty much are holding its bias. The only pairs that we're kind of adjusting are gold and EU. That's why I wanted to talk about that in a bit more detail. So USD JPY, I'm keeping my eye on this really clearly over the next week or so, because I think we could be looking at a very good long position here. So a push to the upside. So where we covered this pair from our last week's video, I mentioned that we could be looking at a bull run to the upside. I was looking at 103 on a tap level, but yeah, we tried to get in on this in the group, but it managed to the position, the best entry was overnight. So again, this is not really too bad because we can enter, the next corrective phase, and I believe that this is the one. So again, if we pull out the fib, we can see that we're in some sort of good retracement here. We can see the 382. All we need to do now is find that bullish momentum and some good price action to add up all the confluences together, and we could be pushing higher. So that's what I'm keeping my hopes for. And potential, we could see 107 being hit. I'm not sure if I covered that as a price target, but it's a good 200 pips there. I do hope you can get into this one. But yeah, definitely keep an eye out for UJ. I'll be one for one that I'm looking out for. So CAD JPY. Now this one has been on my mind for quite a long time, trying to figure out what exactly has been happening, because this pair is just sending me different ways, having different conclusions and different thoughts. And this is the beauty of trading, that you need to if you're not convinced on a bias, I don't believe you should take any trading opportunity. So I can see through this is a very high time frame wedge pattern. Now obviously what this would look like is I hope you can see this is just this channel here. We can see that oversold conditions matching the downside of the top hand of the channel, of the wedge, sorry, and it's also constricting. So what my insight for this pair is, wait for price to take out these, this area of the market, so around 79, push lower, and then wait for a retracement, and then this is where I would consider looking for entries, and to take out this low here, potentially into 78 on the dot would be a nice number to look at as a target. But of course, this is, if something like this did happen, you could be looking at a nice 100 to 200 pips. It really just depends on how much the retracement is. But yeah, I want to see this low being taken out. So ideally, this is my target of the market. So if we can get in and take out that low. But yeah, I don't want to enter this because right now, because this is strengthening here. This is, to me, it could look like we could have a possible retracement before so we have that pushed a little bit further. Maybe we have that retracement, so the retracement could happen now, well, next week early on, or eventually through the week, and then look at this targeting point of the market. This is your ideal entry point. I can't stress that enough. This is enough that don't enter on any bull moves. Like this is, sorry, I keep drinking a lot of water today. Yeah, this retracement is your best friend. I'll be honest, in terms of the trend. This is where you capture the best high reward risk to ratios, and lets you hold on to the trades for the best run in the market. Okay, it's probably one of my best tips that I could give you to get to you guys. So yeah, pretty much looking into 78, possibly even lower, and possibly into this zone here as well to take out any further previous lows. So Euro JPY, I'm looking out for this for the upside move. Keynote here was this very strong bull run, and I'm seeing this as a very easy sign of struggle. So people would have saw this and thought, okay, I'm going to buy this now, because it had taken the strength here. A lot of people probably would have bought into this thinking it's going to skyrocket, but as you can see, it started to trail off, and we are at the what we call the retest of a trend line now. I think we could get a lot of manipulation here. I'm going to keep my eye out for this. This one's going to be a very strong watch for the next week for myself as well, because I think we could skyrocket this into 127. So something about 300 pips there. So again, very excited for next week. I want to see this push to the upside. I really do hope that you guys can capture this as well. That'd be absolutely great. But yeah, I hope you can see why I'm thinking price could head up into this area, because structure has changed on the higher time frames now. So it's taking out this previous zone here, and with this strengthening sign as well, we can see prices struggling to push lower. But this is gaining the orders and the liquidity in the market to push higher. So this is my idea of why we could actually be pushing higher. And then if we add a confluence, another confluence, a fib around the 38, we could even come into the 50. It is what it is. Let the market do what it needs to do before it springboards to the upside, and that's where we can really capitalize on the markets. So yeah, so going long for that pair. Last three or four pairs now. So New Zealand dollar to the Japanese yen. Again, looking out for the correction phase. So could have something like this and then a push lower, something like that. And then we could be looking at that spike. So guys, I don't want you to enter any sells. Because I'm looking at this as a this can push lower, very deep low. By all means, if you want to take the sales, do it. But I'm telling you that the best, the better opportunity is to take your longs, because you could be taking out this level 73 and even pushing higher. So that's where my head's at. I don't want to take any sells with this pair for now, until I'm convinced that we are in a bearish scenario. But yeah, using the fib again, because we are in a trending market, take that retracement and then look for that bullish nature. Take a look at the RSI, clearly overbought. Again, guys, I'm not using this so much in confluence with the trading plan. It's just as an extra added confluence, just like the Fibonacci. Okay. So yeah, remember, price action is the main king here. So looking at this to push lower potentially. Key sign for this shift is look how strong this of a move we had. Clearly taking out that high here. So structurally we are in a good move. We just have to see how much we can retrace before we can find that volume again into the market. But yeah, guys, I hope you can see if this is all making sense. Do let me know in the comments below if this kind of makes sense, and I'm more than happy to clarify this more in detail if if you are a bit confused. But yeah, doing my best. So yeah, next pair, AUD JPY. I've been waiting for this pair. Really annoyed that I couldn't get in on this. I do believe that the reason for this was because of the move was through the Asian session. So that's obviously when I sleep. Yeah, I need to remember to drink a bit more water before I do these videos. But yeah, looking at that, yeah, we've got the move here, and like I said, I'm not always too fussed. But again, this is like lost time, something that I'm battling with myself. Like we all battle with our own expectations, fear, and greed, etc. But what I'm noticing here is that we could have that push to the upside. I'm just waiting for it to happen. I'm going to look at this in a bit more detail with the group, but we can see something possible to come into the 38 fib, take a possible retracement, and then we can expect that volume to increase again with the RSI overbought. So there is a sign that we are pushing lower. Again, guys, I'm really excited for this week, this month, as I was mentioning in the Telegram group. This is the reason why we're just waiting and waiting for this move. Okay, so USD Chef, I am looking at this in a bearish scenario. So if price does go above 0.92, I am going to be, considering a change of mind with this. Possibly we could be pushing higher, but for the time being, as long as we stay below 0.92, I have an expectation that we can push into 0.9 and possibly push even lower. So 150 for ourselves. We tried to get into this in the group, but we got stung out quite a few times. So what the ideology behind this now is, well, the game plan is, we know that the route is possibly pushing lower. So what I'm going to try and do is wait for that corrective phase again, if possible, and try and enter again and take that short and to take this low. So that's my way of looking at this pair. It's a shame that we couldn't get in at the top. It was very close. We just got stopped out right on the top. But again, we move on. We continue to look at the next phase, and wait for the push, and then we wait for this correction. And this is where we enter in the market, guys. This is the simplicity of it. If you miss once, there's always a second time, like a bus. There's always the next bus if you missed the first one. Okay, so finally looking at USD CAD for today, similar situation. If we go above 1.34, I am considering bullish nature, but that's why I'm curious to watch out for this. But I am looking for pushes into to take out 1.29, and again just another further descent to the downside. So a lot of strength to my bias is towards the downside. I'm going to do my best to try getting on this pair because I've been neglecting this dollar CAD for a long time. I haven't really been trading this pair too much, just out of pure confusion, but it is slowly working out, so I do hope I can manage to get into some of these trades. So guys, that's all I wanted to cover for this week. Gold and Euro USD will be out tomorrow. Again guys, I do hope this video does bring you guys value. Again, make sure to comment any of your thoughts if you have any questions, if you have any thoughts, if you have any assumptions, if you even have any trades along any of those positions that we've covered so far. Feel free to let me know, and I'm happy to give you my opinion. We do also have a trading group that you can join. That link is in the description. Furthermore, if you want to join our premium, we are taking people now on in December. So we take on a few members on each month as opposed to every week, because I want to concentrate with my members, make sure they're up to scratch before I take any more people on. Okay, guys. So hope you do understand that with that. But anyway, if you made it all the way to the end, I do appreciate your time for watching, guys. I do appreciate it. Make sure you're subscribed. Give this video a like, and of course guys, I'll see you all tomorrow where we cover gold and Euro USD.